Channel. My name is Brad Supercoach Pro. We are doing the round 18 team review / round 19 team preview going into the week. So we scored 2-2-4-2 last week, which is actually pretty bad considering the players I had out. And we've dropped a little bit of ranking, now down to 6,652. Not as good as last season where I think we finished around 1,200 spots, so which was top 1%. This year, been pretty unlucky with injuries like most of you guys have. So it's whatever, I guess. Probably burnt too many trades early on, and that's what's really killed my season, and just been unlucky somewhat. Started off 100K round one, and by round seven, I think I was about 70K ranking. So to pull off, in the top 10,000 at the moment from where I've come from is not too bad. So we'll sort of do a quick review of the side, undo my changes, look on what happened to my weekend here, and starting off the back line, we captained Daicos because Neil obviously failed, as you can see. Stewart and Dawson been pretty consistent this season, 104 and 126 respectively, and Sinclair doing one of these typical 67s. So this means he's probably due for a 120 week because he does this every 3 matches or so. I think he plays all right at Marvel though, so see how we go there. Will Day, I've actually liked him as of late. Picked him up for around 450K. What's his 5-round average? I think he'll do well against the Tigers, to be honest. I know his scoring history doesn't say otherwise, but he's not been too bad. 109, 141, 65, 107, and 120. So you'll take that 5-round average of 108, not too bad. And then Sheasel, bounce back game. A lot of people traded him out. I couldn't, obviously, with the trades, but normally people trade out team, player against Geelong. Like, I've seen it happen with Goulden. But it's so hard to score against the Cats. It wasn't much of a threat for me going forward, thinking that Sheasel had to go. Bounce back with a 103. And that was at, GMHBA, which is actually really hard to score against over there. So it wasn't panic stations about that. People bought in Sicily, who scored a 58. So Sheasel, beat him by 40, 50 points there, which is nice to hold on to Sheasel for that reason, considering Sis got tagged. I understand that. But, I hold on to little things like that in my season when I've just had such a bad, unlucky season, including Malkin now gone down. So my bench cover's looking pretty thin down back. Got one trade, probably hold it for a primo that goes down there in the last 3 weeks ago, something stupid like that. Did a hamstring, so he's 3-4 weeks off there. I'm not sure he breaks back into the side back in the season. We'll see how we go. But anyway, he's irrelevant. He's bench player. Bont consistent as ever, 131. Probably VC him tomorrow, I reckon. And then Merritt 69 at the category. Kind of expected that score, to be honest with you guys. And then 75 for Neil. Didn't see that coming. And then we had 151 and now injured. So copped a knock to the AC joint. It's whatever. And then Taranto bounced back against West Coast with a 117. So not too bad. Midfield was okay too. I didn't have Sarong or Green, as you can see. 114 for Brayshaw was fine. Him and Neil have been my best trade-ins to date for Zeeble. And then Johnson 74 has been pretty good on my field when I've needed to use him, and he's been quite good when he hasn't been subbed out of the game. So Chikota 56, it's whatever as well. I thought he'd be a better primo than that. I went early on him and he scored 87 the last time he played West Coast. So, he hasn't been a good bench cover since, really. I bought him in after his round debut, and then 88, and then he hasn't really had to cover me too often, but he might be a loophole plan this week. Marshall Briggs, how you going? No worries, just did nothing and ruined my rounds, to be fair. People go in English. I should have held on to English, and I always make a stupid buy decision every year without doubt, and I thought English going to slow up. Should have looked more into the fixture probably going forward. I should have realised that Briggs had hard ruckman opponents going forward, but I just thought his form was too good to pass up, and bringing in a primo at 250K just seemed too good to be true, and turns out it is too true, too good to be true. Gordon 117, Rosie 108, and 93 to Cogs. It's probably been the story of my forward line all year. It's probably been, first, second, and third for those guys. And then some fill-in players around there. Dunkley was out injured. Cameron out injured. So I copped a bit of a hit, to score 2-2, 4-2 with Sarong, Green, Dunks, and Cameron on the bench. And you're playing Johnson, Chincotta, and Marek. That's pretty respectable. A lot of people dodge those bullets. Maybe not the Dunkley train, but it's painful to watch rookies playing when you've upgraded your team pretty early compared to most, and it hasn't really paid off. But it's whatever. And then back to reality for Keys now. Last couple of weeks, 75. Is what it is. And Jezza, if he kicks straight, probably tons up against the Bombers there. So Marek laid in. I banked on that to sort of happen, actually. I know it sounds stupid, you're not going to believe me, but I could have whooped Melkin's 26 and got 26 points, but I just had a feeling that Marek would be laid in at some point. And as it was, I thought anything's better than 26. I'd rather not loophole Melkin early on in the week and just wait to see if there's some weight change, like a Roberts or something stupid. I think I couldn't have done Roberts, but you know what I'm saying? So just Marek has been emergency a couple of times and late in. So, perfect timing for him to score something decent. And, so now going into the round, what we'll be doing, probably my early thoughts right now, probably going to VC Bonds. And then captain, probably just as it is, Dacos. But with the news of Laird going out, I probably got a little bit more flexibility. I could VC Dacos, but then I don't really got any captain options. Could, go VC Dacos into Dawson. Don't love it. Or I could see Sinclair, but I don't trust him at all. So I do like Taranto against Hawthorn. I even like Will Day as a weird smoky pick against Richmond. Stewart, don't like it at the Gabba, if I'm honest. Neil, let's have a look at scoring history instead of me just brainstorming. So what has he got against Port? 149. That's a good C option, I think. And they said they're going to tag him that round too, and that's what put me off getting in Dacos at the start. Dawson's got not bad history last couple of weeks. Obviously can't do Laird. What's Sarong got? Haven't really looked at Sarong. 120 against Sydney. Brayshaw, no, don't do it. History matters, I feel. Marshall, I'm not sure if Goldstein's in, but can't trust him. And Briggs, who's he played? Wits, that's going to be a bad one too. Maybe I should loophole. Can I loophole Cameron for Briggs? No, don't do it anyway. Goulden would be very tempting as well. 156, man. But it's at Optus Stadium. It's not as SCG this time. For me, I probably just want to play safe this week. I know you're probably thinking it's a bit stupid, but I just feel like Bont plays well at Marvel as an early VC. I feel like I'll take a 120 from him. What they got? Marvel, venue. There's his scores of Marvel: 125.89, 122, 112, 113, 125, 169, 114, 123. Which is kind of annoying though, because they're not really VC scores you'd take apart of the 169. Maybe this late in the season, you just got to take a punt to get a big jump. Who else do you like? Neil. Neil scares me off after that bad score. Neil 128.98. Merritt, what's he like against the Doggies? Feel like the Dogs are hard to score against, to be honest, though. Taranto against Hawthorn, what's it been like when he's been at the Giants? What's he like at the G this year? MCG, 112, 103, 114, 144, 118, 90, 118, 147, 128, 84. I really don't know. Probably put Strong in my side, though. Dunkley. What's Dunkley? I haven't even looked at Dunkley because he's fresh off a calf injury. they won't rest him. 130. Man, I love Dunkley. I don't know. I think I just VC Bont would be the more obvious choice at the point. I feel like obviously Essendon don't tag, but we should probably fix this side. We're not going to be fielding Marek. We can do something like this. Roberts, geez, going to the midfield, please, mate. We're not fielding you. Cameron up forward. Can whoop on Marek if we wanted to. He's got the early game. If he goes nuts, we can probably take Jezza off because he might stink it up against Harris Andrews. Andrew, whatever the hell his name is. A bit brain fried. I'm going to Madura 5 a.m. So you ain't going to go see my son. So just trying to think what I can do. I guess in the midfield, that's the spot we've got to loop as well. So how do we do it? Well, we've set up Chincotta here. He scores well. We chuck Laird on. And if he doesn't score well, we leave Johnson there. So that is pretty much how we roll. I don't have any cover down back, though, so that scares the heck out of me. Is there a way I can get cover in the back line? Nah, that's going to just have to be my side going into it. Hopefully there's nothing crazy now. If worst comes to worst and there's a 0 on my field, I probably won't take it this late in the season. And now this is a really ugly pick, and you guys are going to think this is really strange. Now with Tom Green being a couple week wait, I could use Melican. I bought this stainless steel cup I'm taking up tomorrow, and it is pretty good. You know when you got to wash something out, you got to soak it with bubbles and whatever. And then you put some drink through it so then it doesn't taste like metal. That's what I've had to do. Anyway, it's not MasterChef or anything. Not that I do Milo. What I was thinking is bringing in Perryman, worst case scenario. Now, he's only got a 73 average, but you take the one out of his score, and his scoring hasn't been great this season, but his CBAs went up last week. Bit of a smoky. He plays some okay teams going forward. I mean, they're all not like West Coast and whatnot, but he scores all right against Gold Coast, does okay against Doggies, and does all right against the Swans. So I don't mind that first shout. He does got DPP, so I could loop him. But I think I'll just sit on my hands for now, unless there's a late trade, a late out. I won't be using that 386k, excuse me, 124k sitting there. I want to just spend it and take a punt on a player, but I'm more likely probably going to use that on Johnson. You know, with 2 or 3 rounds to go, and hopefully Constable gets named. If Constable's named and Roberts was named, I'd probably be more reluctant to take a punt on going early on my trades. But speaking to Joel and Centre Bounce and SDS, both on the live stream last night, just told me to hold my trays, and I think that's the better thing to do, but I do like to risk it. And yeah, that is the side going into it. If you got any trade plans, chuck them in there. Sorry, last week, Liam, I didn't get to your comment. I saw it way too late. So it's really, if I don't see it by like the Friday night, early Saturday morning, it just sort of goes straight past you. And by then you're locked out from a lot of players that you're really looking into. But yeah, like you did, if you put specifics in what position you're looking at, how much money you got, and how many trades remaining, it can sort of work out a little bit easier. So that was perfect from the viewers all year. Thank you for your support, your comments in the channel. It does get a little bit tricky to start uploading because you only the first half of the season I was doing a preview and a review, and then the numbers drop off. So you're just doing all in one. Not to say it's not worth doing 2 separate things, but got a son. I work full time, 50 hours a week, just about. I train 3 or 4 nights a week of Muay Thai and 2 days a week at gym. So just a lot going on. Not saying other YouTubers don't have a life, but my life's pretty full on at the moment. So do apologise for the late videos, and I'm just trying to do what I can at this point. And yeah, the motivation isn't as high as what it probably was last year due to my ranking, but I'm still pumping them out. And on the off season, I'll probably do a little bit more content to get some more subs up. And you guys are subbed for a reason. So, thank you. Take care, and I'll catch you on the round review. Hopefully, you guys score really well. Cheers, guys.